Hello everyone, and welcome to Andy Styles. We're going to be making a stencil with Silhouette Cameo. I think it's very important that we brand our items, and then we also let our customers know what they're receiving, and this is going to allow you to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is, of course, we're going to open up a new project in Silhouette, and just going to basically choose our URL, and then I'm going to choose the font of Stencil. So it's one already built in there, and that's going to make it look like a stencil or like a stamp per se. One thing that I always try to do is I try to use up my material as you know, try to use the most of it, meaning I don't want to ever have to throw any material away. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to try to center, you know, my stencils as much as I can, so I can make them as large as I can, but then I also want to try to keep them separated, so when I cut them, you know, I have enough room to where I can actually, you know, put them on the side of the box or on the side of the project that we're making. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it to the correct size, and it has some preset font sizes in there, but notice if I choose the one that I chose was too large. So what I'm going to have to do is I have to manually enter in the font size, and normally I try to choose one that's even, you know, so I can if I have to choose it again for another one, it just makes it look a little bit more uniform. And so that's what I'm doing here, and so I'm trying to separate it, so basically I have enough room to cut it, but then I have enough space around the stencil, as I said again, that I can, you know, put it on the side of the box or on the whatever the product is that I'm making, because like I said, I want to try to brand the products. And here is where you'll see I'm making another one, and this is for another company, and I'll use that whenever we ship out things on the box. And what I'm trying to do is, so when the person receives a box, they know that what's inside, and you know, hopefully they're eager, you know, are more eager to open it when they see, you know, your company name on the side of it. So now I'm gonna save, you know, my design, and this time I'm saving it to my computer. You know, you can either save it to your computer or save it to Silhouette, but I saved it to computer. It just depends on, you know, why I do either. But so now I'm gonna print it out. Make sure that before you send this, that you checked whether or not you're using a mat or not. That's very important. I made a mistake, so make sure you always do that. The system is going to notice if, you know, what type of blade that you have in there. I will tell you, if it's not noticing it, your blade is probably not seated properly, and I try to put a video out of that because I had that problem. My blade wasn't seated properly. The depth, so I use the Silhouette stencil material. I saw where some people are actually using the laminate material to do the same thing, but either way, I would test to make sure that the depth that you know is the right, because you want to make sure that you can, you know, weed out the inside of the stencil material. So keep that in mind when you do that. Okay, so you know, as it's printing now, doesn't take long. Make sure that there's nothing that's going to impede your project from behind your machine. I know that happens a lot, and what that does is that wears out your machine. So, you know, try to always, you know, make sure it's a clear space. You can pull your machine forward. That's no problem. But just remember that as it pulls through, it's going to be pressing up against, you know, the wall or whatever. If you, or in this case, you see how it's tugging on the cable, and so you're going to have to, you know, move that out the way, because what you don't want to do is spend all this time and then mess up because of an impediment on the your material. So once that's done, we'll I don't have on the video here where I weeded it out, but that was, my fault. I apologize, for that, but this is what it looks like. Now notice, it looks like I said, a stamp or a stencil, and I can use this many times. But I will say that I did, like on the G right there, you'll notice that I made a little, mistake. Don't get stressed about that, because that's just going to happen. You're going to have, mistakes from time to time, but this isn't supposed to be, perfect. And when we start, spray painting, then you're going to see that it's not going to be perfect. And actually, you don't even want it to look, perfect. You think about like old shipping crates or whatever, if you've ever seen one or whatever, like, or a wooden crate or a pallet or whatever, they'll have stencil sprayed on them, whoever owns the pallet or whoever owns the shipping crate. So here I'm just practicing on a shipping, box that, we've already received. So you can see I just, my stencil's stuck together because they have a little tacky on the back of it, so you can actually, put it on your box or whatever. So I'm going to do a couple of these. And this first one that I did, like I said, it's just regular spray paint, the least expensive spray paint you have, or even some spray paint that you have over that you couldn't use for another project. So don't throw away your cans until they're completely empty. Now, you'll see right here, I made a mistake. I sprayed, too much, and you'll see that, later on. You don't need to spray that much. I think it's just this thing that you want to make complete coverage, but remember, you're just trying to, spray this on the side of your shipping boxes going out to your customer, so they'll know what's inside. So it doesn't have to be, perfectly covered or whatever. So I'm going to do another one right here, and I think I realized my mistake from the last one, but even still, I still think that that's a little, heavy. But then I also have to be mindful of overspray. The more you pull back your spray can, the more it's going to overspray to the rest of the box, and you don't want to, really do that. But don't worry about it, because like I said, this doesn't have to be, perfect. So we'll pull that off, and that's what it looks like, just a stencil or a stamp now when the customer knows. But now look at this one. And so now you see where I, sprayed a little too much and it ran, and then it was on the side. If it had stayed probably on the top, then it could have been okay. But that top one looks good. I mean, I really like that. You see there's a little, like I said, there's light overspray. To get rid of overspray, what you could do is like take some poster board and put it around, put it around your stencil, or cut a hole out and then put your stencil in. Like I said, you're gonna reuse this stencil, and that will keep, if you don't want any overspray or whatever, I'd say if you put maybe about 8 inches all around, or maybe even 6 inches, on the sides, and had your stencil in the middle, that will pretty much take care of any overspray that you would have. But I really don't care about the overspray. Like I said, this is going to be a shipping box. More than likely they're gonna throw it away. So this is like the house decoration that may say Merry Christmas, Happy Halloween, those things. So this is the back of it, and so all I'm doing here is I'm just spraying a stencil on the back, and once again, this is just like branding it or whatever, to show that AndyStyles.com made this. And so this paint can here, it was a paint can that was basically almost empty, but I didn't throw it out. My wife didn't throw it out, so I kept it. I shook it up. I hear a little. You can tell when the spray can gets empty, because you can hear the ball. It's more pronounced when because it doesn't have any paint inside. But it was enough that I could make this stencil. So here's the finished product here. This is the one that I said I oversprayed. If you overspray a box like this, do not throw out the box. Go ahead and use the box. That one, like I said, that looks a little better, but still, if anything, don't worry about these looking perfect. The spray paint dries on cardboard boxes really well, so you don't have to worry about that or anything. And so I liked how this came out. Like I said, I have no problem shipping this out to a customer. When they receive it, they know exactly what it is and who it's from. So And like I said, it's really important. Like I said, the more people see your company name, the more it sticks in their head, and that's what that's the real reason of branding. So here is the sign that my wife made. Like I said, this is the back of it. I don't even think she's even done with the front, but I just took, like I said, you see it actually, this is gold paint, and it's funny because it looked like it's now wood, but it's actually gold. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe and comment if you have any questions, and make sure you follow us on andystyles.com. Thank you.